Hello and welcome back to another video, and it's another format first for me today. This is going to be an 8-track player and some 8-track tapes. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with what an 8-track is, this format came out just after tape cassettes did. So we're talking the mid 60s. It peaked around the 70s, so the most 8-track sales were in 1978, and then it faded out in the early 80s as tape cassettes took over. And basically the way it works, the reason it's called an 8-track is on each of these tapes there is basically it's an endless loop. It continually you put the cartridge in and it plays, and it continually goes round and round and round and round. It never ends. But on this tape there are 8 tracks, and by tracks I mean, if you imagine this is the tape here, there are on each tape there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all inside that piece of tape that you saw. And on it that is basically a song that's being played in stereo. So you've got the left and right of one song, left and right of another, 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 left and right of another. So you've got basically kind of 4 songs for 8 tracks on that piece of tape right there. And the way it works is it's continually playing all the time, and then by using the selector on here you can choose whether you're going to listen to number 1, 2, 3 or 4. So if this is 1, 2, 3 or 4, and the way it does that is inside the head, the thing that reads, when you push the button you hear a clunk, and the head basically is moving. So it's playing number 1 like this. You push the button, it clunks and it'll read 2, clunks reads 3, clunks reads 4, or whichever way. It might be the other way around, up or down, left or right. So it's endlessly playing, and it's actually really cool how that works. So just literally sticking it in and going, listening to the tracks that are on the back. So here, look, you can see on program A, you've got all of those songs. You press 2, and at any point it will then skip to the corresponding track on 2 or B. You push it again, it will go to wherever it is on C and wherever it is on D. So it sounds great, right? But the problems with the 8 tracks were, firstly, they weren't really made to last, and it's surprising that these 4 work. So I've got Max Bygraves, bit of crooning. I've got this one here, which is great, the golden hour of children's TV favourites. Up there, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and over there, Peters and Lee. You might remember, I think everyone's heard the song Something Stupid. So I've got those. Now, inside there is a piece of foam just behind the tape, and that, but basically on all of them it perishes away, and because it's an endless loop, it has a splice that keeps the whole thing together. So it goes out, and then it kind of goes into the middle, and it goes out again, and it's spliced together with a kind of bit of metal film that lets the machine know when something's finished, so it can start again. They weren't designed to last, so firstly that was the problem, they were unreliable. The second one is all the tracks have to be exactly the same length. So what that means is, if I'm listening on number 1 here, and we're listening to the only couple on the floor, as that finishes and the next one starts, this one is also playing at the same time, and that finishes at exactly the same time all the way through. And the reason that's a problem is not all tracks are the same length. So often on some of them, I don't think it's on any of these, but you'll find that a song is actually split between 2 tracks. So it basically will play on one, and then it says, and then you'd have to like click onto track 2 to carry on listening to it. It doesn't, so that wasn't ideal. And then finally the third main reason was you can't rewind on these. You literally just put it in and you just play. So they peaked in the late 70s and then faded off into 80s as tape cassettes really just took over. And one thing that kind of helped these in the 70s was the fact that Ford put a lot of these into cars, and so people would just shove one in and you didn't really have to do it much with it. It's just one button, it's all very simple. So that was a reason why they were successful in the early days. Their simplicity, they're in cars. And to be honest, having my hands on these for the first time, there is something just really nice about shoving a tape in and just being able to click between different tracks. So the setup, let's have a talk about the setup. So this one here, this was released in 1977. This is I don't know if you can see it down there, a realistic, and it's a realistic. Let's find the model. See here, it's a realistic TR TR-167. You've got your output controls on the back there, left and right. And what I've done is I've stripped it down, cleaned everything out. There was a little roller on the left hand side just in there which needed to be reseated because it wasn't sitting correctly, but now it plays an absolute treat. Now these things, so a lot of them were designed for use in cars, but this is one that was designed for use in the home. So basically it's just got a left and right output here and a power cable, and that left and right output would go into an amplifier. Now I don't have a standalone amplifier, but what I'm doing today is this is going into a Sharp tape cassette recorder which has a built-in amplifier, and then the Sharp is then outputting to this Tronsmart through the headphone jack into here. So the only difference between that and using an amplifier is I have to press record on the tape cassette machine for it to output at the same time. But if you have an amplifier at home, you'll be plugging this into your amplifier, and then you'll be sending the music out to the speakers. So yeah, all really nicely working now. And so now we've had a look, and it's really weird because you basically, you know, usually when I do this we chat about features, and I guess I've done that with a little bit a chat about how it works. But it's basically you turn it on and you push this button to move between tracks and you'll hear it clunk. So let's just get into a bit of a demonstration. We'll work from Max into Peters and Lee into Elton John into the children's TV favourites. So first one we've got is Sing Along with Max. The tracks are on the back, and we'll pop it in. And what I'll do is I'll start the tape recording down here. So here we go. Strummed on parentage and strummed on guitar, and all you remember is life. So you can see that's track 4 playing right now. And then what I'm going to do is just click that channel button and watch how this will move from 4 to 1 to 2 to 3 and different tracks play. And the gold of her hair crowns the blue of her eyes. And I wore a big red rose. So cute. All my good wishes go with you tonight. And then you literally just pull it out and the machine turns off. So that's Sing Along with Max. Next up, let's have a listen to Peters and Lee. Now sometimes you'll find these covers are missing, as people would buy the 8 tracks and then throw these away, or these would roll around in the car and get damaged. So it's quite nice to have some of these, although as we'll see with Elton, he's really tight inside there. So what I'm hoping to hear this one, but we might not actually get round to something stupid, but love will keep us together. It will just depend where we are as to which 4 we get, and then let's just have a look. So we can hear just something fading out there. Just you know why you and I. So this is the thing with them being different lengths. You have to go. Doesn't look like we got lucky with something stupid, but there we go, that's Peters and Lee. moving on to a bit of Elton John. Now this one's really tight, like once you put it in it's now impossible to get out, so I don't put it all the way in. Now with this one, as you can see here, we've got Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding, The Ballad of Danny Bailey, Jamaica Jerk Off, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. This song has no title. Grey Seal, Benny and the Jets, Sweet Painted Lady, and you can see some of the other ones. There's Candle in the Wind there, maybe we get lucky with that. Yeah, so let's have a listen. Great songs there, wasn't there? Really good. So now we'll move on to the what I think is going to be my favourite, because it's absolutely jam-packed with these TV favourites. So we've got everything from Sesame Street. I think there was, what have we got in here? Yeah, Doctor Who, Thunderbirds, Magic Roundabout, some really great ones on there. So let's see what we land on. What's nice is you can actually see the tracks here because they put them on there and here. A bit of Captain Scarlet. So some really good ones on there. So yeah, my first hands on 8-track format. I really like the simplicity. I'm a big fan of tape format as it is. I really like the simplicity of it. I like just being able to shove one in, listen, flick through is great. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love a tape cassette, but they're really cool. They're a lot larger. I'll just show you so there's the difference. But yeah, ultimately I guess if they were falling apart back in the day and that lack of rewind, etc., that more of a kind of a disposable throwaway, I can see why tape cassettes eventually took over, and also their smaller format is going to be was more useful for portable stuff. So your Walkmans and things like that, it was natural progression to shrink down from this. But yeah, really enjoyed the 8-track format. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, comment, subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel. And until the next one, all the best, take care and see you.